inside your chest that calls on you to cry.
Hello and welcome. This is Theresa, and this is my desktop where I have a lot of fun things, grungy goodness, vintage goodness, and this is what I've been doing to prepare for the August Junk Journal Madness collaboration. That is Susan at I Totally Love It, and she's been hosting this collaboration for over a year now. So very exciting that it's come around for me to be a collaborator for the second time. And I see there's a bit of a lag, so that's going to be a bit of a bummer for folks who decide to join me live, but it will be fine for the replay. And today is just going to be a short introduction. I wanted to show this lovely goodness that I have on my desk that I've been preparing. I thrifted a type of periodical type newspaper the other day, and I made these out of that, and I will be using these in my journal. So I've gotten a lot of my ephemera prepared for the journal. Here is a little pocket that I prepared with a couple of pieces from some of my vintage cooking ephemera that I have that inspired me to have this as one of my ideas for this August collaboration. Now, if you don't know what I mean by that, be sure to go look at Susan's video that she put out today, and I actually will try to remember to put that in the description to link to that, because she did a really good video today describing this collaboration, the history of it, and what we take into consideration as we're doing that. So that's a good segue to something that I was going to have printed out and ready, and of course I don't, but I do have another copy printed out. So I don't know if you're like me, but I have reference journals. And a reference journal might be an idea book. It might be like a reference journal on creating a journal. And in this one, I have, this is a kit that was put out by Carol Tenson. But this is the list. This is an old copy of it, of the list that Susan put together. She has two spreadsheets. One, and they're kind of color coded. One is equipment. Of course, I didn't print this out on white paper, so this isn't color coded, but one is equipment materials, and the other one is different types of papers. I don't know, maybe this one, sorry, my bad. This one isn't hers. Hers is right here. Here we go. Items, materials to include. So there's two sheets. Do I not have both? This must be the other one. So this is old. She's probably changed it since then. But anyways, you have items, and then you have, well, this is like theme. I'm totally lost. The next video, I will be better prepared because I will have those lists printed out. But like I said, they are on her video that she did today. And I'm going to print out 2 copies for myself. I'm going to mark on there how many items I'm supposed to do and how many materials I'm supposed to use, and then I will highlight them as I do it because I thought that would be fun, and I'll put that in my journal. Okay, so I have a ton of vintage cookie ephemera. And I tried to get this drawer out. Oh, yay. It came out that way. And this is it. So it has all these items. And I have this. This is a Woman's Day crepe cookbook for dinners and desserts. So I plan on using this. It's got a lot of fun images in it, this magazine. It's all about crepes, different kinds of crepes. And it's old. And it's been loved. It's been on the kitchen counter and has had coffee spilled on it and whatever. But I'm going to love using it. I did see a date the other day. Let me look for that. I thought I saw a date. Could have sworn I did. This is like my work when I'm working, trying to find dates or reference numbers for invoices. There it is. It's right there. 1976 is the date on this. So I'm excited to use this. I'm excited to use all these different brands. Sunmade, Jello. I thrifted these last year when I was in Idaho from Marketplace, and that was a fun score. Some of them do have dates on them. $19.30 for that one. $19.21 for that one. Sunkissed. Oh, there's a little stamp peeking out. I don't know how you got in there, little fella. I don't see a date on that one. But this is, oh, I just was stashing a whole bunch of stamps in there. Never know what you're going to find when you go through your stash. 1935. $1941. Look at this. Westinghouse. I don't think this one had a date on it. And we've got Around the World Cookbook. That is not cooking right there. Okay, so now we're getting to some other stuff that I have in here. That was part of that thrift purchase and part of some other stuff that I have. I'm going to have to remember I've got that. That would make a really cute little journal. Okay, I am rabbit trailing here now. Some people waffle, I rabbit trail. So excited to be able to use all this stuff. I've been holding on to it, and today is the day, or this is the month for that. So I made myself a little ephemera folder to keep some of the stuff in. So I'm not going to show you that, but it's got pockets in it, and that's what I'm going to keep some of the stuff in. I've got some papers ready. This is for the faith journal part of it. This little kit was from Sunflower and Doors, and then the backgrounds are from Ink and Page. So my goal, as always, but I'm getting better and better at it, is to use what I've got. And if I need something more, look at my stash. Like these were freebies that I had saved on my computer, so part of my digital stash. These pieces are part of this kit, so I'm just going to attach these here. So what I'm trying to show is that with this journal, I'm starting it by playing. I've been playing. Now, of course, I started before today, and today's the 1st of August, but I already knew who was going to be Susan's guest collaborator for August. And I think she texted me or messaged me a couple days ago to let me know which topic she chose on her wheel, because she made her video ahead of time. And so I've known for a couple days that it was going to be Cooking with Faith. So here is a little Bible study. I really struggle with making faith journals without like a kit and direction. And so I'm going to try and do this without much of a kit. So this time I thought, well, how about a little mini Bible study for this faith journal? So I've got some little mini things that are going to be cards, and it is kind of small print. It's not something that maybe somebody would write the answers here, but it's like a prompt. These are going to be like prompts. And then I just had some cool sepia images that I printed out, 4 of them, to make some cluster cards with. And so I have an example on the top, and I'm just really organizing myself. So these can be ready for another video and a play. So ready for process videos. Just what my process is or was that allowed me to do this. Now, I'm not probably going to do a process video for these labels that I've done. I'm probably just going to use those. And these actually, all of these can go in my ephemera holder, now that I think of it. And I might just, I have a front pocket right here. I might just put these right here because I do not want to forget about them. And you know, out of sight, out of mind. This one was actually a different make, not really the same thing, but I liked it because it had a little herb on it, and we like to cook with herbs. I should say my husband. I don't cook anymore. Who am I trying to fool? And here's another group of cluster cards. These are scrap paper clusters. So I pulled out my container of scraps and I chose some bigger pieces. So I have a couple of things that I've got started here as examples, and then some pieces that I'm going to include in a process video. Am I organized or what? I tell you, I've been looking forward to this collaboration. Okay, so you go there. You really should go in the ephemera, but the ephemera, yeah, if it'll fit, let's just put it in there. Don't come out of your pocket now. Put your britches back on. Okay, we've talked about this, and then I was going to do this idea on screen. So I've got all these little cooking quotes, and somewhere I'm pretty sure I have some scripture quotes, but I'll have to locate those. So I was going to take this and give it some grungy goodness. You see my notes? I started using my Sharpie pen on my glass mat to make notes. So I'm a past Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and when I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I used to have a big paper pad that they sold that had a grid, and then it had like a white spot over here to the side that you could take notes on what your project was going to be and that sort of thing. And I really liked that, and I've been dying to be able to take notes. And finally I thought, you know, if it doesn't matter that it's a permanent marker. If I use it on this glass mat, I bet you I'll be able to clean it. And sure enough, I am. So now I can write notes. And yesterday I was experimenting with stamping on masking tape. And so here's a couple pieces ready for me to use for embellishment. I used it on a couple of journals, and I'm going to have a lot of fun with that. That's something that I thought of doing yesterday. I've been very crafty. I've been in a very crafty mode, which is not super good because, you know, I do have a job. We won't say any more about that. So what I want to do is I want to grab my whoa, it came undone, my box of sprays. Yeesh. Okay. Here's my box of sprays. Okay, move the coffee before it spills all over everything. Love you, Grandma. That's the kind of coffee cup we need to have. Oh, if you're Grandma. You're not old enough to be a grandma. No, you don't want that type of coffee cup. Okay, so I want a light spray. So, where is it? Tea dye might work. And I'm just gonna like spray some here on the box, like that. I don't want the backs, silly. Okay, let's do it more like that. We don't need the backs. We're wasting product. Oh, stay put. Not the back. Okay, there's that. Now, can we try a little bit of this? Would this be too dark? This is Rusty Hinge. Okay. Now, how about some antique linen? So first I use, I like to cut and paste. First I used, tea dye. Then I used Rusty Hinge. And now I'm going to use antique linen. And I'm going to scrunch these up. And so when I'm ready to actually use these, then of course they will be unscrunched. And it is a favorite of mine too. Yeah, and it looks pretty good with the linen color and just a teeny bit of Rusty Hinge. So these are going to dry and they're going to be unscrunched, and then before I put them down I may trim them a little bit more so that they're not so, like this one is about a perfect size. Then I'm going to ink them on the edges, and I may like tear them in half so that they fit on the page. But kind of like what we would do with the little things like this, these little stickers from Tim Holtz. So kind of like that. I'm going to use these for that. Yeah. So that's going to be a lot of fun. That will definitely need trimmed. And like the way I printed these out, because it was in a Word document that I did these, the last word sometimes went over there. So something like this, I might tear every word, or like this is a sentence, and piece it together. And there's a lot of white there, but where there's a lot of white there, I will use my ink, which I typically use scorched timber for my inking. Sometimes I use photo vintage. And then I'll just try to be careful because this paper is a little damp. I'll just use this to cover up that white. What the heck, for something that big, I might even do some sewing on that instead of tearing it. We'll have to see how I'm inspired. But, yep, like I said, I am rip-roaring ready to go for this new Junk Journal Madness collaboration sponsored by Susan with I Totally Love It. And it's going to be fun. I hope that folks will join. Yes, I love scorched timber too. What's your first name? I like to cut and paste. And for those of you, because I think I'm probably going to get some new viewers, because to be honest, I'm pretty sure that my subscribership jumped during the last time I was a guest collaborator for Susan. And so for those of you who are new to me, I am a hobbyist. I do try to sell some de-stash along the way because I have a terrible buying problem. Hi, Katie. And I live in an RV, so we're full-time RVers, and I have limited space as a result of that. So I have to try and keep my my purchases under control by trying to resell some of the extra stuff. And I do have a Ko-fi. I am on Instagram, and all of that is listed in the description of this video. And then also I have what is called familiar trimmers. So for some folks, it may be a little difficult to watch my videos because you might get motion sickness. You're part of the club, Katie. That you get a little carried away with the purchases of yummy goodness as well. So yeah, and this stuff isn't cheap. So one of the ways that I try to keep myself under control is, like, when I started collecting these sprays, I tried not to go outside of what I could fit in here. Now, I have a little bit because I accidentally purchased a set. Sorry, my throat gets dry when I talk too much too. I accidentally purchased another linen one. What was that called? Something linen. Antique linen. Which, kind of a happy accident because it's a great color. And I mean, I'm probably about halfway with this, so I do use it a lot. But I have these Tim Holtz containers, and I try not to buy more than the Tim Holtz containers will allow for. So like I have this one for the minis, and this is, I think I have one more mini other than what is in here. So I try really hard to stay to that. Then I have this one for the regular size ink pads. Oh, I have two minis that are in, oh, I have three. Okay, it was kind of hard to stay within, so I probably will buy a second mini container and put those in there. And then, you know, with my one pad that I keep in here all the time, the scorched timber, I still have room for 1, 2, 3 more. Let me get rid of this thing. So I have room for about 3 more to purchase of this. I really, really want to get a black soot that is this size. I think I already have a black soot. No, I don't. No, I have it. Maybe I have a spray. I have a black soot spray, but I really would like to get a black soot ink pad. And then I bought these pencils when they first came out. I'm not buying any more. I don't know if there's more colors or not, but I'm not going to. I bought these when I first saw them. There probably are more colors, but I'm not buying any more. That's it. I'm done. I may even move these into here. That might be an idea. I don't know what I would use this for, except for maybe ephemera. Sorry, I'm always trying to think of ways to consolidate. Always. Because of my limited space. I have a few paints. I have black soot paint. And there's no room for another one. Wait, there is room for 2 more. Okay, I'm not buying more though. Theresa, you're not buying more. And then I have this container for the Distress Spritz sprays, and they all fit in here nicely. What is in here? Oh, and then I have my mica sprays in here as well. So, well, because, you know, like these are mica, basically. Okay, that's what's in there. And I bought the Distress Resist spray, and it's just kind of hanging out on its own. I have a little box of glazes. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This box holds 6 glazes. And that's my stash, and that's what I'm sticking to. And then I have this container for, on this side, it is my wax, my foundry wax. And I have all the colors. I think I have all the colors. I have statues, sterling, gilded and whatever that one is. And then I have I have one alloy and two mixatives and an alcohol lift, and I have a refill of scorched timber and a refill of vintage photo because I use those a lot. I just started using the resist spray too, so I'm still in the experimental phase. And then on this side is where my alcohol inks are. So I have a couple of blues, a couple browns, a couple of greens, actually like 3 greens if you count oregano and mermaid as green, and then a red and kind of an orange. What is the orange? Terracotta. Red pepper, oregano, mermaid, bottle, mushroom, teak wood, denim. This is like ink something, ink pattern, indigo. So I have room for three more. Yep. I have room for 3 more. 1, 2, 3 more of those. So, which I may get, like, I've got like a red and a orange. I've got browns, greens, blues. Maybe I'll get like a yellow. What other color is there? I guess I really don't even need anything more, because these are the main colors that I use for alcohol inks. I'm very happy with this small selection. Anyways, that's what I do to try and keep my little spinning habit under control. So here's my little snippets that I'll be using in the journal, and they will go into my ephemera folder. And I am going to be spending the next day or two thinking about what else I need to do for my journal. Let's see, I've got stuff in there, stuff in there, stuff in there, and there's something in all the pockets. That's okay, we'll just put you in. Whoa, I'm tearing things. I don't care that they're going to be all scrunched together, because that's what this part is about, is scrunchy goodness. We love scrunchy goodness. All right, that's what I have for you today. And I just want to thank you for joining me. It was nice to meet you, Katie, and I hope to see more of you. And I hope you all will join me in the next video. Thank you for the new subscribers that joined today. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everybody. And that was something else I wanted to say too. So, we crafters are different individuals. Some of us barely craft, and maybe we go on to different forms of social media and lurk. That means we don't talk, we don't interact, and that's fine. Then we have those who are a bit more active, and they will maybe comment once in a while, maybe like, and maybe subscribe. Then we have those who are very active, and they will chat, and they will try to remember to like, and they maybe already subscribed, and that sort of thing. And then we have those who have YouTube channels and will do all of that, or YouTube channels and are sellers. So their YouTube channel is a form of advertising for them. And so they're real careful to say, oh, thanks for watching, and will you please like and subscribe and share and give us your first child and all of that stuff, which is fine. I understand that. That's their way of advertising. So I have a bookkeeping business, and a way of advertising for me that works the best is a Facebook group that I have, and I post content about bookkeeping that shows my expertise. People like Louisa Heinzel and others that have that's their business. That's all they do is junk journaling stuff, and that's where they get their income from, their digital kits and that sort of thing. And so they create their content to show their expertise, and a lot of us really enjoy that. I am not trying to do this to sell. That's why I said at the beginning I'm a hobbyist. So in the beginning, I was telling people, hey, please remember to like my video, or do this or do that. I was trying to be real careful to observe all the norms, like remembering to link people's kits and stuff like that. You know what? This is not a job for me. I am not going to go to all that trouble. I'm going to get on my videos, I'm going to craft, and I'm going to have fun. And so anybody who likes those types of videos will join me. Anyone who does not, doesn't like maybe religious content in a video saying I love the Lord, or doesn't like conservative values, or doesn't like my shaky hands, whatever. These kind of videos aren't for them. But for those of you who do enjoy this kind of thing, that this is the type of video for you. If I get too yucky, be sure to just, grab that little thing at the bottom of your video and scroll ahead, because that's what I do. Sometimes I'll even turn the volume down if I don't want to listen to somebody, but I'm enjoying what they're creating. So it won't hurt my feelings is what I'm saying. I have a Facebook group called Junk Journaling United that you're welcome to say hi to me on. Fun thing to do, because then you can share your stuff. But I also have that community, YouTube community, and from what I know, if you're using your phone, you can post pictures onto my community posts. So you're welcome to do that, and you're welcome to say hi to me on Instagram, and I look forward to seeing all of you. So have a great rest of your day. Hope you have a fabulous weekend, and I hope to see you in the next video.